All right, Jeff, we are ready for you in step 4.9. Your first value will be 22 seconds. That's 22 seconds.
22 seconds. You were very generous.
We are feeling generous this morning.
Twenty-two seconds. Pressure is 19.0.
Houston copy. Stand by while we take a look.
Looking at this grid, and it is a bit small, but if you can get very close to your screen, what they're tracking for the actual length expansion is, if you look at the grapple fixture, so that metal piece on the bottom jutting out at about a 45-degree angle to the right from the right side of beam, you'll see a small pin which is used to help guide in the robotic arms grapple fixture, and where that pin meets the flat plate is where they're actually looking. So you can see it's just a little bit at or beyond 10 inches right now, and again we'll be looking for that to go all the way out to that orange line just before 70 at 68 inches, which will mean the step 4, the manual expansion process, will be complete.
Okay, Jeff, great news for you. We're going to give it 30 seconds, 30 seconds, and we're only 2 inches from the finish line in terms of axial displacement. We're at 66 of our 68 inches.
That'll be 30 seconds coming up.
Complete at this point, so we need you to pick up in procedure 1.302, step 4.12 through 4.17.
And just to recap where we are right now, as you heard the Capcom here today, NASA astronaut Jess Camille call up at 3:10 p.m. Central Time, marking the inflation steps complete, the manual inflation and expansion of beam completed. It got out to an additional distance or an additional increased length of 67 inches, so just 1 inch shy of previously anticipated, but the team's able to determine that they are still ready to go with a nominal pressurization, so calling it complete and successful. There we see Jeff Williams powering up that deployment controller. And with that,
Jeff,
that should
be the initiation of our pressurization.
Copy. And we hear the pressurization.
We copy.
And so with that, pressurization of beam has begun at 3:34 p.m. Central Time. And again, this is expected to last about 10 minutes. And so with that, the pressurization complete, that coming at 3:44 p.m. Central, 4:44 p.m. Eastern Time. Beam now pressurized, and that brings pretty much the end of step 5 and the end of all of our expansion activities. The first expandable human-rated habitat to ever be flown into space. It was a bit of a longer day than we were anticipating, with the first inflation,
Okay, we copy.
or the first introduction of air kicking off at 8:04 a.m. Central. But after a lot of work by the teams down here on the ground and Jeff Williams up in space, we're able to get the module out to its full size now, with all of that manual inflation completing at 3:10 p.m. Central Time, 4:10 p.m. Eastern, followed shortly by the pressurization, the tanks opening at 3:34 and pressurization complete at 3:34, sorry, it started, and then at 3:44 pressurization was complete, and the module now in a stable, fully deployed configuration.